When I was 10 years old, my family made the decision to leave Argentina and move to the US. Argentina was going through one of the worst economic depressions in its history, and my parents had a small chance to start fresh and pursue the American dream. I was only 10, so my primary concern was to finally get to see Mickey Mouse. But after getting here, I noticed things weren't going to be as magical as I thought they were going to be. The language barrier and the fact that I was a shy kid with a mullet made it hard to make friends and adapt. But all jokes aside, I was going homesick from school with anxiety attacks, which I had never experienced before. I was in a state of complete culture shock. But after a little bit, things changed. This crappy little metal skate park was built down the street from my house, and grand opening day was my introduction to skateboarding. I was completely fascinated by it. I wanted to fly like those guys. It looked like they were having such a good time. So I started showing up there every single day, replicating what they were doing, and eventually they took me under their wing, and that's how I made some of my first true friendships. Skateboarding is a universal language, so the fact that I didn't speak English really didn't matter. The only thing that mattered is what I was doing on my skateboard. The skateboard at this point became a tool for self-expression and gave me a really strong sense of belonging. When you get into skating, it takes a while to actually get comfortable on your board and find that comfort zone. But when you start doing tricks, it's when things really get fun. The first trick you learn is the ollie, which is what you're looking at. You jump up and the board comes up with you as if it was glued to your feet. It's a tipping point because it's the foundation to all the other tricks, like the one you're seeing here, which took me 6 years to actually master. So in a way, getting comfortable on your board is like learning how to walk. It takes a while. Learning how to turn and maneuver, it's like learning how to run. But learning the ollie is like learning how to fly, and I was finally able to fly like those guys at the skate park. The learning process does require a lot of dedication, patience. You spend a lot of time on your ass. Sometimes we spend hours trying a trick to finally roll away for one attempt. But the sensation that you feel is something that runs through every ounce of your body and makes it all worth it. Skating taught me a valuable lesson about perseverance. It taught me that falling down was okay as long as you got back up and tried it again. And one of the lessons I've learned about life in 26 years is that if you want something really bad, even if you fall on your face, the key is to not give up and just keep trying. It goes hand in hand. Skateboarders view the world differently. We interact with cities in a really unique way. Skateboarding to us is an art, and what we do is that we make the architecture around us part of the art. So as you can imagine, living in a city or traveling to a new city is like a blank canvas. Everything becomes skatable. And although it's become a bit more commercialized over the last few years, the underground core essence is never going to change. It's not a hobby or a sport. It's a lifestyle that allows you to redefine the world around you. It brings people together from all walks of life and accepts anyone who's willing to put in the work. Skateboarding, in case you haven't noticed, has become the fastest growing movement within youth. Times are changing. There's 15 million skateboarders worldwide right now, and remarkable things are happening all over the world, places that you wouldn't even imagine. In Afghanistan, girls aren't allowed to ride bicycles. The government prohibits it. So there's a nonprofit called Skateistan, which is providing access to skateboarding to girls and is empowering them by connecting it with educational programs. For the first time in their lives, these girls are experiencing a sense of freedom, and skateboarding is now the biggest female sport in Afghanistan, which is truly amazing. A couple of years ago, I was blessed with the opportunity to start doing work with a local nonprofit whose mission really resonated with me. The Get Aboard Foundation is an Orlando-based nonprofit whose mission is to empower at-risk youth through action sports, art, and education. And it's been a really life-changing experience. We work with homeless kids. They spend a lot of time on the streets, vulnerable to falling under the influence of the wrong people. And we understand that handing over a skateboard is simply not enough. So we have a program in place that the kids have to complete in order to earn the skateboard. During this time, we focus on the basics of skateboarding. We track their performance. Skateboarding and art go hand in hand, so we have a day dedicated to art where we take donated broken skateboards and recycle them and make them into art. We make it a priority to always be promoting self-expression and creativity, but we don't stop there. We take it a step further. After every single skate session, the kids get a lesson on the physics behind skateboarding. We use tricks as examples to teach them about velocity, balance, gravity, friction, and the forces related to skateboarding. At the end of the program, they get tested and get to finally take home their own skateboard. The faces you see here all have something in common. They were all homeless at one point. And if you skate, you're really familiar with these dudes because they're some of the most influential leaders in the industry. They started companies that helped shape the billion-dollar skateboarding industry that we have today. And it all started from a passion for skateboarding. So something is becoming clear. Skateboarding can lead to resilience. And by us providing these kids with a tool like a skateboard, we're also giving them the opportunity to create a better environment for themselves. We go as far as actually introducing them to skate parks, which is a really safe place where they can start connecting with other skaters and kickstart their new adventure. And what I believe in is that when something life-changing happens to you, like what happened to me, your duty is to project that experience onto other people. And I know that if these kids become obsessed with skateboarding, it has the potential to keep them out of trouble and put them in a place that can lead to positive outcomes. And one thing I'll admit is that skaters can be a little bit rough around the edges. We're often mislabeled as misfits or outlaws. But the truth is that that's a misperception and we're usually misunderstood. But I hope that through these 20 slides, I was able to break through the surface and show you who we really are. Thank you.